right, let's call the meeting to order.
Agnes Varnarski, Chairperson.
Present.
Dana Syvertson, Commissioner.
Here.
Ed Madden, Commissioner.
Present.
Pete Hahn, Commissioner.
Here.
Seth Marcus, Commissioner.
Here.
I'm Joe Moskow, Commissioner. John Kamish, Commissioner, we presume, is absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. And let's have approval of the minutes of the board meeting of September 10th, 2024.
I make the motion that we approve the beautiful minutes that were so beautifully crafted by Jill Moskow, our secretary.
Thank you, Dana.
All those in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Minutes approved. Moving to old business, volunteer workdays.
Okay, volunteer hours. Right now, currently, we're at roughly 3,193. We completed 2023 at 3,374, so we'll easily eclipse that this year. That's really outstanding. The East Leiden High School came out to visit last workday. They alone logged in 120 hours of service time. It was just a perfect event. It was perfect day. It was really terrific for us. And I think we estimated probably about 1,000 plus pounds of tall goldenrod. And a big, huge shout out to Mark Roscoe and the guys at Public Works for coming to pick up all the debris and chopping it up. So thank you, Mark.
And may I just say that the young people who came were interested and engaged, polite, respectful, and they want to come back. So
Yeah, they're first of all, the difference between a class coming out to visit us and this group is a service club that's a function of the high school. And so they're there because they want to be and they want to serve their community. So the interest and the focus is completely different to begin with.
Or a community.
They were so happy with the event that they want to come out now 4 times a year. So we're looking at something in the winter where hopefully we get cold enough to freeze the ice and
What city are you?
the slough.
That's in Franklin Park.
It's in Franklin Park. Mhm.
And I don't know if you know the story about how this came to
The
be.
backstory,
I can tell.
Go
it real
ahead.
quick. Okay, so Blair Ripley was our was our intern, our regular paid intern for 2 years. Everybody knows Blair. Her mom, Lisa, volunteers with us regularly, comes all the way out from Oak Park on a regular basis for the last several years. Her mom was a teacher at East Leiden High School. And when she retired, one of her students became a teacher at East Leiden High School. And they have this relationship, and so they still talk. And Lisa told her about our organization. So this teacher decided that she really wanted to bring her students out to Prospect Heights. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just thought that's just so wonderful and sweet. And they're such great kids. We had so much fun.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, so looking forward to that relationship. And I think they learned a lot too. They had so many questions, and we had so many wonderful opportunities to educate, and we went on a walk afterwards, and we talked about pollinators. So it was nice. Okay, let's move on. The Prospect Heights Public Library Park District event.
Okay, Nature Speaks. October 23rd, the day before Peter's big tree planting, 7 o'clock, a U.S. premiere of the film Why Not Scotland. It is live in the library meeting room, and it's also available on Zoom. You need to register either way. There's supposed to be popcorn to go along with the movie. It should be an outstanding evening, however you cut it. And then on January 28th of 25, we have the actual star of the film, Flo Blackburn, is going to be our guest speaker, and she's going to talk about behind the scenes and what all the things that went into it and what happened, and a lot of side stories of just incredible interest. The time, it's that her webpage is up on the website now, but the time is still to be determined, so there's no registration available. If she was going to do it at our 7 o'clock meeting time, it'd be like 1 o'clock in the morning for her to start. So she's figuring it out. She's young, so she might do it.
Before
Question,
you move on,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to work to get a press release out this weekend. But if there's anything that's not on the webpage for this that I should be including.
I have photos,
please
yeah.
send it.
I have photos I can send you.
Please do.
Okay.
And also another question, if people can't make it to the day of the movie, is there an opportunity to watch it after that?
No, it's only on the day, but they can Zoom. I mean, they can Zoom in and stream it
Great.
if they, in lieu of coming to the library, so.
There will be an opportunity when it comes out in Scotland, right?
Yeah, they're talking about releasing it to US consumption, so
Okay.
we'll see. Fall bird walks, the last bird walk was really cool. Tons of birds. It was really well attended by the birds. And so everybody was happy with that. The spring dates have been set. They are May 25th, and I'm sorry, they're May 10th and May 24th. Those are both Saturdays, 7:30. That's it?
Okay.
Any questions? Okay.
All right, moving on to projects, update, status, and monitoring reports. Anybody have comments about anything?
I just want to say, you might have seen, I sent an email to you guys. I went and cleaned every sign at Marava.
Oh,
They're
wow.
sparkling clean.
Great.
I saw
Thank
that you
you.
know, but I wasn't sure. I was like,
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
bad.
yeah, now
Yeah.
they shine.
Yay.
And I also got some cinder blocks out of the creek.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty
Awesome.
nasty.
Thank you, Seth.
Yeah.
That's great. Any other comments about any of the sites? I plan on going after the cattails for the next few days. There's still
Yeah.
time, so.
Thank you for doing that.
And, yeah. All right, moving on, the seed greenhouse program update. Well, I guess that's part of it. I mean, really, the seeds, the plants are sort of senescing, and we won't be planting anymore this year. We're in a big drought, and it's just hard to even make sure that everything's watered.
Yeah.
So, moving along then, the educational updates, Wheeling High School and MacArthur Middle School.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Wheeling High School, they did come out. I don't know if that was since our last meeting or not, but we don't have another scheduled event with them. MacArthur Middle School, we just had come out this past Wednesday, yesterday, and there was 160 students. So the sixth grade class has expanded, and so there was two groups of 80 students. They came out for almost 2 hours each. They rearranged the schedule of the school so that they could do that. It was really, really cool. It was a little bit hectic. We had a lot of volunteers. How many volunteers do we have? 7 volunteers or 8, 9?
8.
With
8.
Zeke and maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, about 8 volunteers to help. And there were several teachers, but still with that amount of students, I think that maybe we could have done it better. Someone mentioned doing it over 2 days, which might be what we need to do when there's that many students.
How do you put the word out that you need volunteers for this?
We just sent an email to,
Yeah, it was to the regular people that are not
Oh.
well,
retired.
who don't work.
Got it, okay.
We figured if people are at work, it's on a Wednesday, you know,
Okay.
we didn't even bother people that were working, you know, to
Well, I
take
would
an
just
extra day.
appreciate receiving it so I have it for the
Okay.
minutes. Thanks.
Okay.
So do it over 2 days, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, we sort of switched it up in the middle and changed the seed collection because there wasn't, I mean, the seed processing. So what they did is they went out to the prairie and they collected seeds. They also did some of the tall goldenrod control, and then they also processed the seeds as well. So they had like 3 different activities that they did, and each student was able to participate in each activity. At one point when there was a little bit of a lull, I just took them over to the side, the one group, and I talked about pollinators and talked about butterflies and all the plants. We made it work. It was great. I think the kids had a great time.
It was
I think-
robust. You covered a lot.
Yeah, it was an all-day event. The greatest thing was, though, seeing, like, I recognize 2 or 3 of these 6th graders that come and volunteer with us regularly, just so nice. And then the other really wonderful thing was that Maya, who is our regular volunteer, her daughter, Nellie, you all know because she volunteers with us too, she told me during this event that she remembers it when she was in 6th grade. She's now a senior in high school. And she remembers this event from 6th grade, and that's how she remembers me. And she said it was one of the greatest events in 6th grade.
Oh,
That's great.
And it was just so wonderful to hear that, and then just to think that every single student in Prospect Heights gets to experience it just once at least, because everybody goes through 6th grade, at least once, right? So
Hopefully.
hopefully just once. No, but it's really nice. And so, I mean, I recognize 4th graders, we recognize people from nature camp, from all sorts of, from Boy Scouts, from Girl Scouts. It's just really nice. It's,
The other thing, one thing that I notice is that when the group comes out, very, very often, a lot of the kids look at the plants and look at sort of, there's bugs flying around the plants, and they're like, ooh, and they're ooh, and they don't want to go in and pick the seeds. Within a handful of minutes, they see their friends doing it, and the next thing you know, they're all doing it. And they suddenly are not scared of nature anymore. They're not scared of the bugs flying around. They don't go ooh anymore, and they're running in it, and they're playing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Spencer had the suggestion that we tell them going forward, before they go out, that there are no man-eating animals out in the prairie that are going to attack them.
They're just so, a lot of them, not all of them.
A lot of
obviously, but a lot of them are
misconceptions.
just so not used to being out in nature. And it's great to see the transition right before your eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's great.
No
Yeah.
fear of bugs.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a really great experience. It's a lot of work, but I really enjoy it. Look forward to it, and I can't wait. And I can't believe we've been doing it for so many years, at least 6. Okay, let's move on to the pop-up art sale.
That took place. It was great, and they had a lot of attendance. Everybody that I spoke to said it was just like it always is, so.
and good weather,
Plain.
too.
Oh, it was wonderful. I enjoy that so much.
And there was
Yeah.
music, too, wasn't there?
Yeah, they had right? They had a band, and I'm a little late, but I had to work. Yeah, that's one event that I really enjoy every year. It's great. And all the art that is up at the park.
A lot of hard work goes into that by Mara and Kate Tully and Andy Fagoli. They really deserve to be shout out for their efforts. It's just,
Yeah.
what they pour into that is just overwhelming. Lots and lots of hours, and they're really to be commended.
Absolutely. Okay, any other comments about that? No. Status, drone herbicide of the cattails at the slough.
Okay, we got a quote for second application from Davy. It doubled. We're not going to do it. It's,
We already talked about it, didn't we?
no, we didn't.
Okay,
It's
well.
4,000 instead of 2,000.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to go back to them and see if we could.
I
do it.
did, and they haven't responded, so we'll move on.
That's your
It's-
answer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's just too much. It really is. It's absolutely too much. So because of the drought, like serious drought, the slough is so dry.
Yeah.
I've been able to walk out almost completely to the water's edge, which never could before. So I've been going after those resprouts that are out there. And hopefully with this workday this Sunday, maybe we could clip some of the cattail seed heads and I could just brush cut it. And,
Nice.
before the rain, I think that we can do it without the drone. A lot more work without a drone, but $4,000 is a lot of money.
Yep.
Okay. All right, moving on. ComEd Green Regions Grant.
Okay, so the latest update on the Green Region grant is that Mark Roscoe went to the engineering firm to get engineering on the concrete slab where the pavilion will ultimately go. Those plans are due to be delivered on 10/18. They had to go back and do some more measurements, so there's a little bit of a delay, but not much. I have a meeting with Mark sometime on 10/21. Don't know time yet, but as soon as Mark gets back to me, I'll know. So if anybody wants to attend, they certainly can, but otherwise, we'll just, it'll be, still, the goal is to try to get the concrete poured before the snow flies. so that that bit of disturbance is over and done with before the spring. Okay, any other questions about it? Okay.
Okay. The budget.
John's not here. I got a copy of the budget from Peter. Everybody has a copy, I think, to look at. The back page is the ComEd Green Regions grant that we just received, the funding for that. No expenses so far. The shoreline, the capital budget, we have $17 left for this year. Funding for this year, we've got another 4962.
That's that was the expense,
Correct.
right?
And the gross revenue right now is 6376. And then also, as everybody knows, Agnes and I were married recently, and we received gifts of donations to the NRC. And I have one of those here, and it's hard to say that what's better, the gift or the description in the card of why they did that. And so I'd like Agnes just to read that a little bit.
Not the whole thing, though.
No, not,
Just a little part, okay. May it continue to blossom alongside the beauty we are surrounded by each and every day because of your heartfelt efforts to restore this little piece of heaven. Natalie, Eric, Charlie, and Emma.
so they gave us a $500 check to be
Who shares a birthday
deposited.
with me?
We'll give this to Peter, and that will go into our account and onto the regular budget. So, thank you, Eric.
The whole family. It's really.
Any
sweet.
questions about the budget?
Did you say there was $17.80 left in the shoreline budget?
Yes.
Okay. For this year, because
Yeah.
then next time is another
It's on the
6,000.
flip side of it.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to make sure I heard.
So we're gonna have to, I think we need more clippers. We need maybe a few pairs of loppers. We definitely need gloves.
Gloves.
Gloves. I mean, with so many volunteers, we definitely need gloves. So, and then some blue dye, maybe some herbicide, some things just for the winter. But I think those are our immediate expenses. That's,
I also, there's signage for Pollinator Park under new initiatives. There's a couple of places where people are fishing where we have just done the restoration, and they're sitting on top of the plants and squashing everything. I'd like to get a couple of signs that just say, fishing prohibited in this area, restoration in progress.
can you run it by Mark first?
Yeah, we'll run it by Mark. And then a couple of signs that say designated fishing area, just so people know, and we're not destroying the restoration mark.
Well, especially now that those construction vehicles are on Willow Road, I mean, that's where a lot of people used to fish.
Yeah,
So they're
Yeah.
probably gonna
Yeah.
move
Right.
elsewhere.
That's why they're all, yeah. Okay, so just ask Mark.
yep.
Ask-
And ahead of the construction project.
Okay, city civic meetings and PHNRC representation.
Okay. The resolution in support of the project and the provision for the city to provide a $4,000 match funding for the ComEd Green Regions Grant to create a new public service pollinator park located between the police and fire departments was approved at the September 23rd City Council meeting. The Park District Board has scheduled a public meeting on October 15th, that's next week, at 7 p.m. at the Gary Morava Recreation Center to meet with residents and hear their concerns and receive their input for the use of the parcel of land at 214 South Wheeling Road. The proposed revisions to the city regulations for keeping chickens and other fowl was approved by the Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals at their September 25th meeting. The city has not had any regulations or ordinances regarding chicken raising since the 1970s.
Comments, questions? No? Okay. Moving on, Friends of the PHNRC.
Last week, we met with the lawyers and Joe Wade and Peter Falcone. The application was filed with the IRS, so as soon as IRS says okay, we are friends of the 501. So that could take 1 to 3 months, we're told,
Or longer.
or longer.
Right.
So,
It's a process. And we really, really appreciate it from the city. It's
yes,
just,
it's the city, we really appreciate you guys doing that.
Yeah, it could have never happened without the
Nope.
support of the city of Prospect Heights, absolutely never. So, very much appreciated. Okay, moving on. MacArthur Middle School and Tree Planting Initiative, Peter?
Yeah, so October 24th, everything is going on schedule. Looking at 12 trees to plant at MacArthur Middle School. There's a lot of people involved. District 23, the staff at MacArthur, Open Lands, tree keepers, and of course, our commission, PHNRC. If anybody wants to volunteer, Open Lands suggests you go to their website. It's easy to find. I think Dana has.
Yeah, I sent out the link to everybody tonight.
Okay. And for like former students and parents, I looked on the, just Google search, just MacArthur Middle School tree planting, October 24th, and it pops up there too.
Okay.
So you can do it that way. But we're looking at a lot of students. There'll be 3 groups of students coming out at different times. They'll plant 4 trees each. There's a lot of digging involved. The parents and staff and the volunteers have to help dig, naturally. The students, get in there too, but the trees are not that small that you can just easily plant them. So everyone's invited, really. Hopefully it's a good day and everything. I think Dana's going to get the water bags.
Yes, I'll let me know when you want those, and I'll make that happen.
Yeah, we're going to start the staging at around 8, 9 o'clock on the 24th.
Okay.
So the trees should be there around 8, 9 o'clock. Molly from Open Lands is really coordinating the whole planting process, so she's really helped out. There'll be some oak trees and some bald cypress and a couple other trees, but I'm looking forward to a lot of fun. Hopefully everything works. Rain or shine, unless it's really severe weather, we'll be planting the 24th.
Nice.
Peter, I'll send that notice out to our regular email base, which is 500 people,
Okay,
and that'll go out on the 18th.
okay.
And I will include that link for registration.
Okay. I know there was one former student that she graduated from MacArthur, and she's really excited to come out and plant a tree at MacArthur, so.
Oh,
We've located the sites, the positions of the trees. They're all around the school, the front of the school and the side of the school, so everything looks good, so.
wow.
Cool.
Is that
Ready to
something
go.
we should do like a press release at all, I guess, about? Sure.
I'll send you
Yeah.
specifics.
please do.
Yeah.
And what diameter trees are they?
They're 1.5 inches,
Okay.
1 inch, not big. I just got finished helping plant at Prospect High School, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
How big are the root balls on those? So,
They're like in a 5-gallon container, not super heavy, the ones we planted at Prospect High School. They were easy to maneuver, but 6th and 7th graders are going to have a little bit of a problem, so an adult or 2 at each planting site will be helpful.
Absolutely.
But they're really nice trees. I planted, the group that I was with, we planted 2 bur oaks at Prospect High School, and there were 19 trees at Prospect High School
Wow.
that we put in, so it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
It was a perfect day, and the students were really happy to come outside and get away from class, I guess.
Is this a big program that they go to different schools and around the metro area? or
Yeah,
is this-
Open Lands does this for, different organizations, free. I mean, there's a grant involved, but Open Lands picked up the cost, so these trees are donated, really, and they're really nice trees, beautiful oak trees.
And are there thoughts of other schools in our general area?
Yeah, well, that has to come, Stephanie Ritter over at MacArthur, you need someone on the inside, a teacher or a principal, someone to get involved. Last year, I participated in Thomas Junior High in Arlington.
Nice.
And that's where I kind of got the idea that it would be nice to do this in Prospect Heights at middle school. And things just progressed along, and I asked if I could, talk to Stephanie and Dana and Agnes. Why not? So that's how we got it started, though. Yeah,
It's fantastic.
yeah. I'd like to see more schools do it. you know.
Sure, like Hersey and Wheeling, all the immediate schools around here would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, I know at least 2 teachers that would be really interested in that.
Yeah, you think Wheeling, our contact at Wheeling. it should-
Wheeling and Buffalo Grove, we don't really have anybody at Hersey yet, but,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Okay.
great.
Yep.
Mhm. And then who do they contact? You?
Contact,
Like if somebody was interested in having trees planted at a high school or another school?
I would, they can contact me, or they go right to Open Lands. There was Molly Roche, I think
Yeah,
is her name.
I have.
Roche. She's one of the project specialists for Open Lands.
Okay,
And
Or the both
we
of you.
worked through a lot of people. We had several phone calls and meetings online and things. And it took us a while to get everything in line, but the principal over there really stepped up and moved things along. So it takes a lot of people to get it going. But once you get a person on the inside of the school that really wants to push it, a science teacher or somebody, it really helps.
Yeah, that's great.
okay. Wonderful, thank you so much,
Sure,
Peter.
sure.
It's wonderful.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, then let's move on to new initiatives, the Morton Arboretum visit. So we had staff and volunteers from the Morton Arboretum come out. I can't even recall what day that was. Last Friday.
That's Friday.
Last Friday, they came out for the entire day, and it was a really, really great event. So they came out basically to look at the shoreline stabilization at Hillcrest Lake, because they are having issues themselves. And when we went out to one of their volunteer work days with our interns on that last day field trip that we do, we happened to mention that we're doing shoreline stabilization, and so that's where the idea came, that they would come out here and take a look. And they were really impressed with everything that's going on over here. They're having issues with their ponds and their creeks and all of this. They were really impressed with the coconut rolls and how successful it's been. We talked a lot about protecting the toe. We had a little visit to other areas surrounding and the issues at hand, and they walked around the slough. They went out to the ComEd Prairie. We had lunch. They spent the whole day with us. And it was really, really nice. Really.
Yeah, they were
Very nice.
impressed with a lot of things that we do. It was really, really cool. And the really great part about it is, it's when you walk around the slough with people who know what they're looking at, and you don't have to explain anything. They get it.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
It really is nice, because you just sort of just talk about different things and share
So
ideas.
was it staff?
It was staff and volunteers. And so these volunteers I know very well, because I volunteered with the Morton Arboretum for many years, and that's where I took most of my classes. So I know most of these people. It was really nice. It was almost like a little reunion. It was very, very nice to share everything that's going on in Prospect Heights, and it was really nice to hear how impressed they were with everything. So it's a great event. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that. Signage for Pollinator Pike, you already mentioned.
already talked about it.
Trails, paths, and optimum with conversation, but I think John wanted to
That
talk
was
about that.
John's, yeah.
John, so let's
Let's-
just move that to next month.
Let's move it to next month. Okay. Then let's move on to new business, seed collection Wednesdays. We've collected a lot of seed. That's all I have to say. Every Wednesday, I mean, it hasn't been raining, we haven't been rained out, so we have a lot. I think we can extend it past October 23rd. If it's not cold or if there's no freeze, then we can definitely, go past October 23rd. Poplar Creek Prairie Stewart Seed Collection Days, I have not set that up. We usually go out there to get Indian grass. There was all that wind. It was like within 2 days, all the Indian grass flew off. The seeds just flew off the stalks. We normally go in mid-October to collect Indian grass, I don't know. So I don't know if you guys are still interested in doing that or not, but it's sort of late in the season, and I could still set it up on an off Sunday,
I just ask if there's any left.
or any other seeds that we can collect. So we have a work day this Sunday, so it'll be the following Sunday. All right, I'll ask them.
Yeah.
Okay. The following Sunday, which would be the 20th. Okay. Okay. The annual seed processing and volunteer appreciation day, November 10th.
Now, we have to decide on the recipient of the Golden Loppers, and this takes place before our next meeting. And our next meeting is the last meeting for this year.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
that is true, so send me your nominations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that from 10 till 1 again?
Yeah.
Yeah. We move it up a little bit and go a little later so we can have lunch and, right? Yeah,
Is it
10 to
Saturday
1.
or Sunday?
It's a Sunday.
Sunday.
It's a Sunday. It is.
And it is a normal workday for us.
It's a normal workday.
Right. Okay. Okay. Any other questions about that? And the same thing, right? Potluck and everything that we've done to this point?
And I can monitor if people, send me what they're bringing and so forth and keep track of that.
Okay, so we really got to get on top of that. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, well, there's any announcements to the public, Seth?
Yeah, I have an announcement to the public. So it's kind of a little funny thing, but I have a challenge to anybody who listens to our little meetings here. And that it's based on a conversation I had with a friend named Debbie, who told me that she's been calling her lawn a field. And that got me thinking. And so I sort of want to pose a challenge to everybody out there in listening land. What it would be like if you started calling your lawn, instead of a lawn, if you start calling it a meadow. And if everyone started calling their lawn a meadow, I think over time, maybe, it's just an experiment, but I think maybe you might start thinking of what's in your front lawn, or what's in your front yard, or what's in your backyard, or whatever. You might start thinking about it differently, and maybe a meadow is maybe not, they both have grass. By the way, the definition of a lawn and the definition of a meadow, they're both predominantly grass. But maybe a meadow, you don't mow as often, maybe it'll save you a little money and a little time, but also it'll perhaps attract a few more pollinators, maybe some butterflies, maybe some caterpillars that look really cool, maybe a rabbit or two. And I think maybe if we just start, more of us start thinking about a lawn as a meadow instead of a lawn, maybe it'll bring about change. And I just thought of it as a challenge to everybody.
Okay, that's actually really interesting. Very interesting concept.
The semantics are important because they do frame the thought.
Yeah,
Right, yeah. And maybe you make little changes because you're calling it a meadow. And everybody should have a meadow.
yeah, that's.
Right, yeah, right. The end goal is to call it prairie.
One step at a time.
Thank you, Seth. Okay, and we have no visitors, so no comments. Okay,
I make the motion, we adjourn.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.